Welcome everyone to the experience, the art of health and wellness. This show will go ahead and give you more information about healthier lifestyle. I'm your host Souvik. I'll be diving into with one of my guests today. I got Mayank with me. He is going ahead and educating, helping people, helping nearby one with health and wellness. So Mayank, welcome to the podcast. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Souvik. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mayank, for giving your precious time. Mayank, I just want to know, tell me more about the journey, about your motto, your goals, what you have, so that my audience can listen and they can get in touch with you pretty soon.
Well, Souvik, my journey is not much different from everybody's journey. Whatever everybody face, I face the same situation. I am not unique. I am not different. So, like everybody, I am in 40s. I am 47 right now. So, after 30, 35, I started to feel that your body does not take the same kind of toll which you put on during your 20s. After
Right.
30s, it's slowly, gradually, you start to feel that you have sometimes gastric problems, some headaches, some kind of symptoms starts to come in. In my case, it was gastric problems, which I overlooked because of my work. I was mostly traveling. I had a lot of marketing job which I used to do. So during that time, I realized that after 35, I have a regular symptom of gastric, which I used to overcome by using, allopathic pills like pantoprazole tablets.
Okay.
Everybody told me it is common in my circle. This is a very common phenomenon. I go
Yes.
to meet my clients. They say, "Sorry, sir, what I can do? Every time I take this pill in the morning, now I am okay. You also continue. This is a lifestyle disease."
True. True. It
I
happens. It
started continuing.
happens with everybody.
Later on, in my 35s, I started to feel that it is aggravated. Even after taking one pill, by the evening, gastric reflux comes in. So I felt that there is something wrong. And that's when, I started consulting Indian Ayurvedas. And I came to realize the way we are living our life is not the right way. Our way, food habits, the way we live, the way we conduct our daily routine, they are not right. So no matter whatever pills I take, this problem will not go.
Right.
So one Vaidya told me, sir, the basic problem is there and you are trying to overcome the symptom. Now symptom is not the solution. If you try to put pills, it is a symptomatic solution, not the real solution.
Correct.
That's when I realized that most of us, not only me, most of us, we face same situation. We don't pay attention. Where is the problem? And the problem lies specifically on one thing, most important, that is our food. Our body is our food. Whatever we eat becomes our body. So our food habit, if it is wrong, ultimately it will affect. During 25 to 35, you are young, so you overcome your energy, your body overcome that symptom. But after 35, it is very difficult.
Right.
So that's when you are forced to change your lifestyle. And as I changed my lifestyle, I found there was a tremendous improvement, not only on health, even on mental situation. I used to remain irritated most of the time. Every
Mm.
time there is a phone call, I feel irritated why this call is coming. But
Right.
after you become fit, you find your mental condition also improve. You remain more calm. Things does not affect you much. So when I found these changes happened in me, that's when I realized that this is something which has to go to everybody, not only to me. And
True.
that's when I started my this journey in law organics, where I started focusing food as the journey for fitness. And this is something which I'm not saying you go and buy somewhere. It is naturally present in everybody's house. And that's why I thought that why not make yourself fit naturally? You don't have to go to doctors. Don't put your health in anybody else's hand. You yourself can control your fitness and without any much involvement in terms of finance or any extra very hard rigorous exercise. Everything can be done very easily on a daily routine. And
Mm-hmm.
once I started looking at that, I started selling this concept, making people understand it, packaging product accordingly, and
Mm-hmm.
gradually changing everybody's life around me. In 2020, we started this journey. It's been 4 years. And in
Wow.
last 4 years, we have found that a lot of people who are associated with us, they have told us that they have really improved and they are very happy with this change which they brought.
My father says, body is a temple, right? So you have to make sure that, you have proper, you take care of it properly, you get proper sleep, proper food. It keeps you mental, peace. That's what my father says. And yes, we should always, follow this because 30, 35 years, you know what happens, We are busy with work, running here and there. So mental peace is very much needed. So amazing. How did this, Lay Organic started? Was it your own concept, your product? How does it started?
Just to give you background, I told you that I started when I started facing health problems and I started joining these Ayurvedic doctors. That's when my wife is a yoga instructor. So she told me that why don't you start doing yoga? And for me, yoga is like alien thing. I never did yoga in my life. And I thought I cannot do any asana. I am not fit. I cannot even bend down. I cannot touch my toe. How can I do yoga? And that's when I was introduced to Sadhguru, who is a founder of Isha Foundation in 2014. I was very impressed with the way he talked, the concept he said. So in 2014, I joined his class, which is like an inner engineering class. He called it as inner engineering. I did this course. That 3 days of joining inner engineering was a life changer for me. In those 3 days, I realized that we have a different concept of yoga, like more very physical, very intense kind of asanas. While if you focus certain basic exercises and some basic breathing techniques, you can really change your life. That was a very big changer. So I joined Isha Foundation. I started working with them. I started going to ashram, and my spiritual journey, or you can say fitness journey, started from there. And during 2020, when pandemic hit, COVID hit, my house and my business was based in Hong Kong. So the first hit position was Hong Kong. In January, I came to India, and during my visit in 2020 to ashram, they told me that why don't you join with the farmers who are associated with Isha Foundation farming, because they teach organic farming and organic processes. So I joined those farmers. I started visiting them with some of the Swami from the ashram. I am also a distributor of Asia products in Asia Pacific region. So that's
Wow.
how I got associated. And during pandemic, I found that we can promote these products directly to the consumer outside India, because within India, like me, there are many people who can access. But
Correct.
since 2004, I am living outside India. I'm an NRI, and a lot of people like me are not closely associated with India in terms of what is happening there. So I made it my motto that I will bring all these new, much more scientifically tested products outside India, bring them in international packaging, bring these products internationally available everywhere, not only in one place, but whether it is USA, Canada, Singapore, any place, and then start changing the life of those Indians who are living outside. So, with this motto, I started Law Organics. And the name itself, as you can see, is not like a very Indian name. Law Organics is the organics. La is a French word. So, Law Organics is a French name. Yeah, so that people, yeah, so people can correlate it like a global brand. And that's how, because we have global products, what we lack is a global branding more so, even the more on the packaging side. So we focus these few aspects and started introducing the Indian organic products outside India under our Law Organics brand, and that's how our journey started.
Perfect. And what are like your response from the market when people are using the organic products? Okay, according to their
see the
focus, what is the testimonial you get basically?
see like any other Indians, our basic problem is lack of trust. We
True.
don't trust anything. We don't trust anything very easily because we have been cheated since beginning, since my childhood. I have been taught 10 times you see the things, then only you believe it. So when we say organic, and that too coming from India, people don't trust it.
That
They
is
think
very
it is anybody will put organic label and will sell the product. This is what is the general thought of anybody. I don't say this is wrong or right. This is how it is.
Correct.
Well, the same product, if comes from America, for example, Nativa coconut oil. Nativa is a brand from US, but it is made in Indonesia. The oil is from Indonesia. So, but any Indonesian brand you are buying, no, you are buying American brand. Why?
Correct.
Trust factor.
Yes, 100%. Yeah,
So
being an
basic,
Indian, we totally understand this, okay? No doubt
yes.
about it.
So the basic challenge we faced when we started organic was lack of trust. Not the product, not the knowledge, but the trust. So we thought that the only way to gain trust is by experience, giving them time. They understand the product, they test it. When they test it, they find some changes, real benefit. That's all. I put any name, organic, natural, chemical free, whatever name you want to put, you put. Doesn't matter. For a consumer, what really matters is whether it is really affecting him or not.
Is it getting
That is the
benefited?
difference.
As simple as that.
Yes, people now can pay you price, but for a quality, not for cheating.
Right.
You charge three times premium, but the product is same. Then why anybody will pay you? Yeah. So our objective from day one was to build this trust with our consumers. We told them only two consumer is enough for me. Let them buy, let them test. We give them free samples initially to try, and then once they gain confidence, yes, the taste is good, quality is consistent, product packaging is hygienic.
Right.
That's why slowly and slowly, gradually, you get a mass of people who trust you, who believe in your product, and they use regularly. And believe me, when I'm saying people lack trust, Indian are equally, in the opposite sense, very loyal. If you gain the trust, they don't lose you.
Right,
They want to
100%.
keep you.
They will be with me forever. That's true. Because see, end of the day, getting benefit out of your product, right? So why will not anybody lose it? If they're getting some good thing, nobody gonna
Yeah,
lose it, right? So
yeah,
it's all all cool.
yeah.
So what are the
Yeah.
basic ingredients you guys focus on? What are the key material or ingredients you used in your products? Which stands out or which put your product out of the box?
See, Souvik, I will tell you that the base, because ingredient goes along with the product to product. Let's say example of ghee. When I approached ghee, I realized I was using, I should not say especially, but in most of the general Indian home, you will see Amul or Patanjali. These are two very famous names. I was also using uh, sometimes Amul, sometimes Patanjali, and I was very happy with that product as such. But when I went to ashram in Isha Foundation and I was looking at the process, I realized Ayurveda never told the way we are making ghee right now. The ghee which we are getting commercially is not even following the process of ghee manufacturing. So
True.
Ayurveda says there should be five steps, or we call it as five sanskars, to run to make a ghee. It includes right from taking the uh, milk from the cow, boiling it in a earthen pot. Then after that, there is a very important step which nobody followed in a commercial ghee. That is making curd.
Dahi.
So all the milk after being boiled has to be converted into curd. In our home also, when I was child, my mother used to boil. There was a cream layer on the top. She separates the cream. She keeps the cream for like 1 month, and then she make matta or makhan and then boil it.
Right, right. I
That
remember.
that is how was ghee made in our home.
True.
Nowadays, those who feel I'm very, I want to make ghee in home, what they do, they go to the shop, they buy butter slabs, non-salted, they burn it,
I
and
know.
whatever is the molten, they call it as ghee.
No, it doesn't work like that.
So the
Actually, not.
problem is, instead of buying ghee from commercial, they bring butter, they burn at home, and then they call it as ghee. That is also wrong. So when
Wrong.
I realized that the second step, which is making curd, is actually process of making bacteria, which is the most important part of your digestion,
Right.
that is missing in the whole process. So you have to first make curd. Yes. Yes, that bacteria is to be created in fermented, and then you have to churn by Bologna method. We call it as Bologna method because it is a hand churning, but it is doesn't matter. You can go for a machine churning as well, and you separate the butter out of it. Then you heat this butter. What molten state is left is ghee. Now, in all these steps, you have to be very careful on the timing, temperature, everything. Now, if you look at the general commercial ghee, they churn the ghee in the centrifugal machine. What separates is a fat. Now, that fat is used to make ghee, butter, cream, whatever, cheese, even ice cream. So, for a dairy company, this churning out of fat from the milk is what is the main process. That's why if you see all the commercial milk companies, they measure fat content. There is a machine which is dipped in the milk. They see what is the fat content. Accordingly, they pay to the farmer. That's how buffalo milk started to become more popular than the cow milk, because cow milk has less percentage of fat.
So I am basically from West Bengal, right? So
Okay.
this part of India is pretty much famous for, ghee, dahi, So we get it every single, Still at my home, my mom makes curd in summer, right? So we have that culture in the house still. Awesome.
Yeah,
So
like Misti Dohi is a very famous
yeah,
thing
Rasgulla,
from
Misti
them.
Doi,
Yeah, Rasgulla.
they're
Yeah.
very famous. And I'm blessed that I'm from Kolkata. I love that.
We love Bengali food a lot. So coming back to the main point, that the ingredient which will go in any of the organic product is basically removing all the wrong ingredients out of it. Means removing the chemical, removing the preservatives, not adding it, keeping it simple. Number one. Number two, when you are following a process, follow the old Ayurvedic or the process which is the indigenous process. When we make jaggery, for example, we don't remove molasses, we keep everything there. Instead of putting any sulfuric acid or making it more cleaner, we keep it like that and then use it in your food. So any process which is old, without using any chemical, without using any preservative, tend to will have a much better health benefit. And that should be the approach for ingredient, in terms of ingredient for any product, ghee, jaggery, oil, or any product as far as what we use in our daily routine.
Perfect. And man, how do you source this in United States? Like where you sourcing
See,
from? You from India or you have got other channels? Tell our listeners.
well, it is a kind of information sharing as well as knowledge sharing with all those who want to get into international business, because I am doing international business for last 20 years. And initially I started my career in Tata International, which is international arm of Tata Group. So, what I can say is that most of the people don't know how to sell the product outside India or how to do international business. Many products are available in India, good quality product, nice product, but they don't know how to do. In my company, like I am selling our raw organic product right now in three countries, which is USA, India, and Hong Kong. Hong Kong is our headquarter because that's where I was living. Now I am living in Canada, so I started business in Canada and USA. And India is, of course, our motherland, so we sell in India. But as far as international distribution is concerned, you need three things when we are dealing in international business. One is you should have an import and export company in India. I have my company in Chennai because my most of the product comes from Chennai. And so you should have a import export license. This is number one. We
Right.
call it as IE code. Number two, you should have a forwarder, means a guy who will take your goods from your shop or your factory premises, wherever. And that guy will take this through sea, air, whatever mode you choose, to the country wherever you want to sell. And the third person should be a consignee or an importer, a guy who will import the product in that country. Now, every country have their own rules and regulations. Like India, similarly, every country. So, like US have their own FDA organization, which Food and Drug Association, which looks after all the chemical composition terms, factories, what are the background of the factories. So you need to have a FDA registration when you ship the goods to USA. If you don't, it is legally allowed without FDA registration, but very likely your product will be held in customs. And if they take the product under custom for checking, and if any parameter, even one parameter fails, your product is withheld, destroyed, or returned back, which is a big loss. So I would always recommend, when you are dealing with US, you should have a FDA registration done. Let your product pass through all the tests all the parameter. Better send the samples to USA before you sending the big cargo. So we always send our samples to the US authorities. Initially, our importer give the samples there, give all the registration and details. Once these three part is done, that's when you start doing smaller shipments, like test one pallet, two pallet, small cargo,
Slowly and
then
gradually,
go
step
for
by
a
step. Right.
gradually you try to scale. So that's how we also do. We do a small scale first, let the product get into the market, also understand the custom and regulation, and then slowly and slowly build from there. But the process in Singapore and Hong Kong is more easier because it is a free economy. But in that case, they when they check, they don't want you to get into trouble. They want everything to be perfect. They don't check 100%, but when they check, it has to be really, really good. So I would rather say, when you are sending anything, whether in India or outside, be authentic to yourself, be genuine to your business, give a correct declaration, labeling should be correct, your ingredients should be correct, your nutritional values should be correct and tested. We do testing of all our product, every product. It is costly, but it is a must.
And
So do
it,
proper testing.
it has to be a proper legit, legit stuff.
Yes,
Because
yes,
you
yes,
want to be, selling something to a different country. Both the
yes,
country's reputation matters in that case, right?
exactly,
So
exactly.
obviously, if I help something which I'm outsourcing of someone, I'll make sure that my people get the best solution, right? That's the reason,
Yes,
there's so much of things going on these days. That's very true.
exactly.
So Mayank, do you also help startups or new business with, these kind of adoptions?
Yes, for example, I am not a venture capitalist, or I don't have money to invest, but we help other startups and other companies in a different manner. I believe, and because I have started my business in 2007 without any money invested from my side, I always believe it is not money which is needed. It is from belief on what you are doing, and you must be ready to work from bottom to top. Means you should be ready to work as a salesperson in your company, you should be ready to work on a shop floor in production, you should be ready to look after your accounts with full passion. So if you are ready to do all these activity, then you can grow up your business. Whether it's a small, I started my startup with zero money to a $30 million business. All this thing created because at every juncture we were ready to do whatever is needed for the business. This is number one. Number two, yeah. So number two, what we do now at my position, we tell to all our people here who come to us how we can do business. They people have ideas. They have many fantastic ideas, but they don't know how to physically, really execute it. So we help them in creating companies, making marketing base, branding the product, sourcing of product. If they are good in terms of manufacturing, we tell them how you can put it into the market. So at various level, we help the small businesses and people, if not financially, but in other ways, to conduct a business. When they know how to run it, when they know how to physically do the business, that's when they can grow. You don't need help in terms of finance all the time. People nowadays, I see, when they see Shark Tank and other programs in India, they get very excited to go and get the fund.
Right.
For business, you don't need fund. Fund is needed only when you run the business and you need to grow, and you don't
Expand.
have fund to grow. Yeah.
Right.
To run the business, to start the business, you don't need fund. So idea of funding should come only when you have a constraint and you need to grow to a certain level. First thing is, you should understand how I form a company, how I run a company, how I sell the product, because just selling the product is not the question. You get a repeat order in that product? Does your customer feel that this product is good and he recommend it further to anybody else? So these are the things which people don't even perceive or think when they start business. They just think, oh, you buy the product and you sell the product and finish. No. So there is a whole cycle. So we come in picture in terms of small parts in this cycle. Help them in formation of company, sometimes running the company, sometimes branding the product, sometimes sourcing the product.
Wow. So Mayank, what advice would you give to new business owners who want to create a unique product in health and wellness sector?
See, I always believe, not only in case of health product, in any business, first of all, you have to consider what is your role. Okay. Most of the people, they come to me many times, they say, sir, you tell me what business I can do. I can source this product. What jaggery you are buying? 100 rupees. Okay. Can I source you in 80 rupees? You buy from me? They always just think what price somebody is buying, how can I buy cheaper in that price? This is the model that most of the people look business. Business is not working like that. Business is, first of all, you think as a person, in whatever I want to do, what is my role? What I am doing tomorrow, can anybody can replace me? They need me. If I'm not in this channel, in this business, whether the business will run or not run. If it does not run, that means you are adding some value in this whole chain. Either I am making this product very nicely, which other people cannot do, or I know some good buyers in the market, which others don't have that kind of relation, or I know the people. I am not the creator, I am not the buyer, but I know the right people who are doing it, and all these people are connected to me, and I have the finance to run all these people in a place. So exactly identifying what is your role. And if your role is not any value added, it is just price driven, means I am buying cheaper and I am selling higher. This is not a business. This is just negotiation. You are buying cheap, selling high. So when you want to start a business, everything else can be taken care of. This one answer most of the people don't look at seriously, so their business fail in very third year or first year or fourth year of their business, because they did not add any value in their value chain. So when somebody is starting business, I will strongly recommend that you look what value you are adding. If you are not adding anything,
There is
don't
no
do
point.
that business. Don't do. Work is not bad. Work is not like something that people demean work, that why you are working. Business is also like a work. I work in my company like a worker only. It is my
100%.
company, but I work, right? So don't think that business means no work. Business is also work. Only thing, it is your own company for which you are working. That is the only difference. But
True.
you have to see in my company or wherever I am working, what is the value I am adding? Am I adding really any value? If no, then that work or business will not be long term.
That's a very good, outcome, for this podcast. This will be very, very beneficial for all startups. And the best part, you've been doing this by yourself. So you know how the system works, how you have that experience. So amazing, amazing conversation. So how can how does a small business build trust? How does a small business, get more promotions happening in the local market? What do you say?
Okay, Souvik, it's a very difficult and tough question, because most of the big brands, even the big brands, huge amount of money, they don't understand this point. So whether it is big, small, you look at your own home, how you build trust between a father and a son, a mother and a daughter, how you build trust between two families. Trust is only one way, very easy way. You promise something, you deliver that. If you deliver little less, trust is lost little bit less. If you deliver little bit more, expectation increase little bit more. You deliver little bit more every time, you are exceeding expectation, so people feel excited about your product. But if you even if you meet the expectation what you promised, you will be a trusted company. But the time you deliver less, what you are promising, it can be less, no problem. Don't think I will promise this. Everybody does not promise I am making iPhone, right? But in the market, people are buying 100 rupees, 500 rupees phone also. Everybody is not buying iPhone. So why you are promising my phone is like iPhone? Why you are, a Maruti car is a Maruti car. Maruti car should not promise that I am making a Mercedes and selling at a price of Maruti. That is where they will lose the trust. So trust building, exactly, exactly. Technically not possible. The problem is why people don't know, or why they lack trust, is they promise something, they deliver something else. You can promise less, deliver exactly as per that what you have promised. You will build trust, you will gain trust. It is like I promise you 10 o'clock I will come, or 4 o'clock, Souvik, we will have this podcast. 4 o'clock I am available. You will trust me that I for time I can trust Mayank. He is on time. Every time you call me, I am 5 minutes late, or I will send you a message. Sorry, I am stuck in a meeting, or I am coming on the way. Whatever reason, genuine reason, but I have already lost the trust.
It
Right?
gives a bad
So,
impact for sure.
same logic, same principle applies in business. Whatever you promise in your marketing campaign, you deliver that. Finish. Trust will build up. Trust is something which other is building. You are not building the trust. It is your customer or consumer building the trust, right? So what you have to do is just meet your promises, what you are selling in your marketing. If you are selling, I come to your house, this jaggery is very sweet, very healthy, this, that. And when you eat, it is not. I lost the trust.
100%. Right.
Same thing. Marketing, slogan, agenda, branding, advertisement, whatever you call it, has to meet the product. That's it. Trust is there.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mayank, for giving your precious time. Right. So big thanks to Mayank for joining us this podcast. That's all for now. Stay healthy, stay inspired. See you on the next podcast, and don't forget to
Thank you.
subscribe the channel. Thank you,
Thank you
Mayank.
so much.
Your
Thank
precious
you.
time.
Bye.
Bye bye.